Are you looking to buy a used car but have no idea to where to start? Well, I'm here to help and I'll take car of you. In the past couple of years, I've bought and sold a lot of cars. Buying a car can be very overwhelming. So let's take a deep breath and I'll walk you through what to look out for. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is find your budget. Now, I'm not a finance YouTube channel, but you want to ask yourself, how much can I actually afford? A good rule of thumb is that the car payment should be no more than 10% of your monthly income. So for example, if your income is $3,000 a month, the car payment shouldn't be greater than $300. If you plan on financing your car, I recommend that you go to any bank or credit union's website and see if you pre-qualify for a loan and to see what interest rates that you qualify for. Once you have a good idea of what your rate is, I recommend that you go to any car loan calculator that you can find online. From there, you can play around with your numbers so that you can find the affordability of your car. After you find your budget, now you can start researching your car. This can actually be quite a daunting task because there are just so many different trim levels of different car models. To make things a little less intimidating, I'll walk you through how I would browse for my future car. And this is going to be a real life example because I'm actually browsing for an SUV for my family. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is to try to understand each trim level and what features they offer. So I'm going to go to Google and type in the year, make, and model of the car that I want. And I'm going to add brochure at the end. So typically for newer vehicles, this is really easy to find. It should be on the first search result, and then you just download it. We'll open it up. So I'm going to scroll past all the fluff and then go to the actual trim levels. So there's premium, premium plus, and prestige. So the trim level that I want is going to be the prestige. And the main packages that I want are the luxury package, the adaptive chassis package, and the driver assistance package. Cold weather isn't so important for me, but these are the main three that I'm going to be looking for. Even though it doesn't show the prices on the brochure, I'm going to show a little trick that works on most cars when looking for the prices for each package. After I'm done selecting the trim level that I want and the different packages, I'm going to go to Edmunds.com and search for the car that I want now. You can use any car buying app, but I prefer using Edmunds. My year range is going to be from 2018 to 2018. So I'm just looking at 2018 models. And then I'm going to select the 3.0 Prestige Quattro. So these are all Prestige packages. And let's see. I want only one owner and no accidents. And there's a bunch of different other features here, like what color, obviously, different interior. And then, so the one thing that I really like about Edmunds is that they include options and packages. So it doesn't work 100% for some cars, just because maybe the car listing doesn't have it or whatnot. But for the most part, it does work. One of the main packages that I want was the luxury package and the driver assistance one. So those are the most important packages for me right now. So here's the one listing that came up. So we click into it. And what I also like about Edmunds is that it gives you like a market value price. So it says that it's $2,700 below market, and there's like the price trend of the car, specifically at this dealership. So it started at $52,000 and now it's at $50,000 or about $51,000. And then yeah, you can just check on, okay, this is the amount of miles it has, the colors, and usually they have like a full history report. And then again, this is what I was talking about earlier, where you can actually see the different packages and the prices that it has. So if we go back to our search and we kind of reset our filters, these are very comparable. This 2018 model with 28,000 miles and this one with 29,000 miles, but this one is almost $2,000 more. And the main reason why, let's go ahead and check it out, is probably because it doesn't have the luxury package, which was around $5,000. So you have to be careful when comparing different prices, because one can be $5,000 more but have more value because they have loaded options or packages, whereas the other one might seem a little bit cheaper but it's missing a bunch of features. And in this case, I feel like the $51,000 car is kind of more worth it because it does have the $5,500 luxury package. Another tip is that I do tend to look at one owner vehicles, and I try to keep the miles below like 30,000, just because most of the time it's still under the manufacturer warranty, and anything more, the car was just driven more and has a higher chance of being abused and stuff like that. So try to avoid higher mileage cars. So in my opinion, just at first glance, I think that this does have a good price, just because of the options and packages that it has. Is pretty good. So once you've done all your research and decided on the car that you want, it's time for my favorite part, to go test drive the car. Some of the most important things for me when test driving a car is to try to be silent when you're driving, so that you can try to hear if there are any noises or any rattling when you're driving or braking. You want to make sure that the engine sounds fine and there's no clicking or any weird noises. Also, to test out every feature, including the radio, the AC, heater, sunroof. A very bad example is I drove all the way to Texas from California to pick up my Ford Raptor. I was so excited that I forgot to test out everything. So one of the speakers were blown, and after a couple times using the sunroof, I found out that it was actually broken also, and that was a huge cost. So just make sure to test out every little thing. There are a ton of other things to look out for, like the headlights, checking the brakes, how much tread is left on the tires, any wheel damage, and so much more. If you're new to buying used cars, I recommend that you download like some type of checklist. You can Google used car buying checklist, and there's a huge list of things to look out for. If it's still really intimidating for you, you can actually ask the salesman if you can take the car to a local mechanic and purchase a PPI, which is a pre-purchase inspection, so the mechanic can inspect the car for you. My last tip is to try to not buy emotionally. Even if the salesman says this is the last car on the lot or this is a really good deal, if the numbers don't work out right for you, you can always just leave and there will always be another car for you. So hold your ground when you're negotiating, because the worst thing that they can do is say no. And even if you walk out that door, there's a huge chance that the dealership will call you up in the next couple of hours or the next day and say, okay, let's do that price. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. Please feel free to add any tips or advice that you've experienced when buying a used car in the comments below. Thanks again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.